his wife and, like, trigger warning, got her up and threw her into the river. That's the book we're reading for my young adult lit class. So I started that one. I did start Giovanni's Room. I want to read Giovanni's Room in February. It's not long. The problem that I'm finding is that I have that book at school, and I keep meaning to pick it up at lunch, but nothing really last week. This week, we did have a lake day, which I kind of talked about. We walked around the lake. And then Valentine's cards, I really have not. I mean, not Valentine's cards count as playing, but we did sign them, pass them out. Obsessing. Man, I don't want to ruin y'all day. I don't want to ruin y'all's day. But between the files and then the lack of anything happening about the files, and the lack of the people that refuse to acknowledge the files, people that you're related to, people that, oh, I haven't looked, oh please, you have no problem looking at this stuff on true crime or whatever, but all this, like, I can't support PDF supporters. So between that and then the projections of AI, AGI, it's not looking good. And I kind of was being very intentional about not learning too much about maybe this, maybe that, because, like, why, if it's, well, maybe, or it's kind of now not a maybe anymore. As soon as 2027, we could be having some major problems, and those problems are projected to get terrifyingly worse after that. I also didn't want to get into it too deep, because there are people that have went into psychosis just from, like, learning, thinking of worst case scenarios, which are even worse than what I just kind of touched on. And those people have went on to leave life because of their psychosis, or just the potential, the worst of what could happen. Yeah. So recommending, we did have a warm up in the Midwest, and I highly suggest you go take care of all the dog do that you couldn't when it was freezing and when it was frozen. Just go make it a clean slate back there. Get all the litter that blows into your yard over the winter. Like, do it now, because I feel like we will get more. You know, it's only mid-February, we're gonna get more, but if it's halfway done, it's a lot less to do the next time it warms up. And this is crazy warm. It was 70 degrees yesterday. That is insane. Also, if you are going to book Memorial Day stuff that's outdoors, I highly suggest you do it now, because we've had our eye on this cabin that's not even that far from us. Look at these cabins. And we went to look it up the other day. They're all booked for Memorial Weekend. So I think we're gonna have to hurry up and book our 4th of July celebration at these cabins. But if you're planning on doing anything outdoorsy for Memorial Day weekend, start looking now. Treating. I got my Bananagram. I got a new brow pencil. I got a pack of Pilot Juice 3.8. These are the Pilot Juice 3.8s. And they're really good for my Hobonichis, because they're such a fine point. So, I got a pack of these. I had to order some heartburn meds. My heartburn med of choice is called, I think it's a famotidine or something. Famotidine. I take one in the morning. I take one after work. And then I did my library book haul that I showed you guys. Spent $4.75, I think, at the library. What have I succeeded at? I finished that math job up. Thank God. And then I secured my switch over to the English department. his wife cheated on him essentially. So he's going through this divorce. He's living kind of off on his own in a condo or something. It already feels like his life is falling apart. He's got some teenagers that are kind of going through their. The only thing I don't like is every show I feel like has to have teenagers. Okay, teenagers can be a handful, right? But I feel like in every show they have like the most disrespectful as teenagers that just like run shit, you know. Anyway, and then he loses his job, and just all kinds of bad things happen to this guy. And so he gets like this wild hair up his tuchus. He starts stealing because he still has like all these connections, all these rich friends, because he was affluent, is whatever. So he starts stealing, and of course there's plot holes. So I don't like the plot holes because it's like, where are these people's security systems and ring camera, whatever. Anyways, and then the teenagers, but it's still a 5-star to me. Like, it has everything. It's got like a little bit of action, comedy, a little bit of romance, and then thriller. So 5 stars. Season 2 comes out in April, and we watched the first 2 episodes of Alex Cross, which is on Prime, and it's a detective. It's okay. My husband likes Alex Cross more than I do, and there's an awful lot of sex scenes, so it's watching it in the living room. I always got the remote in my hand. I gotta fast forward because I have a kid running around, you know. Anyway, Alex Cross is based on the James Patterson books, James Patterson series. Whatever. Anyways, random. It was Pep's birthday last week, and so he got his treats, and we sang Happy